inspiring. And next, I'm delighted to introduce Jane Aitchison from Leeds Trades Council. Jane's president of Leeds Trades Union Council. She was parliamentary candidate in Pudsey in 2019, and she's currently the Unite Branch Secretary of my branch. So over to you, Jane. Thank you very much.
Well, comrades, it's fantastic to be here tonight. And I just want to say, I know quite a lot of the brilliant trade unionists in this room tonight, but I don't know absolutely everyone. I want to shout out to Rashida, though, who I do know, for organising this, because it's been smashing. Who don't know me, I want to just explain very briefly that I was struck down with a horrific virus last year which left me completely paralysed, including facially paralysed, and I am recovering from that now. I'm not saying that so that you feel sorry for me, but on the other hand, I don't want you to be sitting there thinking, well, that woman's chosen a funny night to try new false teeth. So please bear with me a little. My remarks are going to be quite brief, though, because I know that some of you are going to be wanting to get back for 9 o'clock to watch the Celebrity Jungle. Matt Hancock, if you're not keeping up with events, has been voted to take part in the first trial as soon as he's got there. And I understand, I might be wrong on this, but I understand they're going to ask him to jump out of a helicopter with the same level of protective equipment that he provided for nurses. So that means you're going to get one of these. Well, brothers and sisters, Hancock and Johnson and Truss and Williamson and Braverman and Sunak and all the rest of them. What a set of heartless bastards these Tories are. They have presided over 12 years of driving our wages and living standards down. At the beginning, while interest rates were fairly stable, it was manageable. I can remember 2 or 3 years into the Cameron government at work, talking about Aldi and Lidl, and Mike would try Aldi and Lidl because we were all finding that our usual supermarket Morrison's seemed a bit dear, and we went up to Aldi. I saved £20 on me shopping in the first week. I was cock-a-hoop. Well, that's gone down and down and down, hasn't it? We're at the point now where Aldi and bloody Lidl seem dear. Where can you go from that, brothers and sisters? We're in a terrible place. Everyone is facing the squeeze, but with rapidly rising inflation as well, it's absolutely terrifying for people. People are genuinely worried that they might be priced out of gas and electricity. They're frightened to put the heating on in their house. And similarly, rent and mortgage. Where do you go if you're priced out of rent and mortgage, brothers and sisters? Over 1 million British people are now relying on food banks. They have been priced out of bloody food. My daughter, don't feel too sorry for her, but she came home from uni last week, and after having a nice time sponging off her parents for a week, she went back and she texted me and she said, Mum, 1 week I've been away and I've gone into Tesco to get 4 pints of milk, and in that 1 week the milk's gone up 25p in Tesco. It's shocking stuff, the way prices are going up and up. But brothers and sisters, this is not a cost of living crisis that we are facing. It's a cost of greed crisis. It's not just a political choice either. The Tories are making it it's a political strategy that they have, make no mistake. They are deliberately trying to make us poorer, to work us harder, and to destroy our strength and our ability and our will to fight back. The Tories absolutely love it when you have 3 jobs. Not because they think work's great. They say, look at them lazy bastards. They love it when we've got 3 jobs because they know you'll be too knackered to argue and to fight back with them. They love it when disabled people are made to fill in forms time and time again, humiliating humiliatingly when they're not going to get better, when they're locked into a cruel system of poverty benefits, and when they're hung on the phone for hours and hours and hours, in the hope, really, that it'll put people off claiming. And you know what? It's working. There are huge reductions in the claiming of benefits now. And they love it. They love it when nurses care so much about their patients that they feel too guilty to take strike action in 106 years. I'm not kidding you, you heard me right. The Royal College of Nurses has existed for 106 years and has never taken strike action. Can you believe it? But that all changed yesterday, didn't it, brothers and sisters? Because they voted to strike for the first time in over 150 trusts over pay and over patient safety. So nurses join the university staff, the posties, the rail workers, the dockers, the bus drivers, and today the civil servants as well, while teachers, firefighters and midwives are all in the middle of balloting too. Next Wednesday, a national day of action is being called, wait for it, in Starbucks. I'll have chocolate sprinkled on that. This is what we need. This is what we need and more. And this is why. Because sisters and brothers, when I was growing up in the 1970s and 1980s, families with one wage earner could afford a home, a car, a holiday, and a bloody good pension scheme as well. And then when I started work in the 1990s, you could still afford a home, a car, and maybe a foreign holiday, and a pension scheme. But it would take 2 wage earners to get that. Where are we at now? Well, where we're at now, we're in a position where over 5 million British children are living in poverty. And over 2/3 of those children are in a household where one or both parents are working. So work no longer pays. It's difficult now to work your way out of poverty. We have got to raise wages and living standards, and for everyone, brothers and sisters. And how do we do that? Well, why were wages so comparatively high in the 1970s? Well, I'll tell you. Because trade union membership was at its all-time high in 1979, way over double of where we are at now. And make no mistake, brothers and sisters, Thatcher, she was not just a milk snatcher, she was a wages snatcher too. She cheapened our labour, not through popular capitalism, not through immigration or any of the other crap that you're told, but by smashing the trade unions. And she started with the most effective trade union at that time, the National Union of Mine Workers. And sisters and brothers, today I warn you, we must not let our posties or our railway workers become the National Union of Mine Workers. The Tories we are facing today, they are nasty and they are cruel, but they certainly are not Margaret Thatcher. We can defeat them, and we can turn back the clock on our living standards and rebuild our trade union movement at this time. So I end by saying this to you tonight. First of all, join a union. Tell everyone you know to join a union. There is a trade union for absolutely everybody, and I really mean that, there really is. If you think there isn't a one for you, come and see me at the end, I'll tell you there is. And if you're in a union, get more active in your union. You can always get more active in your union and show solidarity to every picket line that you possibly can. And there's plenty of opportunities right now. Because remember, the longer the picket line, the shorter the dispute that we'll need to win. And together, brothers and sisters, we really can win. Thank you.